Um, Today I want to talk about my feelings on ice. Now, this is probably the most political video I've ever made, but my channel's small. It's not like I'm worried about losing whatever audience I do have, and it's just I need to be able to talk about my feelings to someone, so I want to talk about it to all of y'all. Um, and basically, what I want to talk about is how I believe ICE as an agency has become too violent. There's too much of a culture in ICE itself where it's became normalized to commit acts of violence. And I believe this is because we've seen high ranking officials, even our vice president, JD Vance, say that ICE agents have absolute immunity under the law. And it's things like these where our government is constantly covering for ICE agents who go too far and is protecting them. As we saw in the killing of Renee Good, even if you believe the ICE agent was, you know, even if you believe he truly thought he was in danger, I still don't think that gives him the right to kill Renee Good uh, by shooting her 3 times in the head. Um, and then they also denied her medical treatment too. And it's things like that where even it's just like at least have a trial or something. But our government is just not allowing investigations. The FBI agent who was in charge of investigating uh, the ICE agent who shot Renee Good. Renee Good. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing her name. Got a bit of a speech impediment with my R's. Um, he resigned. Now, of course, we don't really know what the reason for this resignation is, but usually when you resign from something like researching a trial or investigating something, it's usually because you don't want to be involved in the investigation for whatever reason. And, for me, I assume it's because he believed that he wasn't allowed to do a fair investigation, or maybe he believed the government was covering up what the ICE agent truly did. Somehow, I'm not sure. And it's also crazy for even our government to not even yet say this is a lose-lose scenario where the ICE agent thought he was being threatened, the woman thought she was being threatened, and both were scared for their lives, and a terrible accident happened. We have Christy Nolm come out and say that Renee Good was a domestic terrorist after her death, and clearly that's not the case. you know and it just sucks that our government can't even just be like, oh, the ICE agent was scared for her life, Renee Good was scared for her life, it was a lose-lose scenario, both did things that they shouldn't have done. Like, they came out and said the ICE agent was in the right, the ICE agent did what he was trained to do, which is wrong, but whatever. And today, alex uh, Alex, a 37-year-old nurse, was killed by an ICE agent. And this is the second person killed by an ICE agent in Minneapolis in the past 2 weeks, I believe. Um, I mean, just stuff like this sucks. And before I give my thoughts on the videos, I'm going on the video. I want to show y'all the video and, make sure I'm not taking anything out of context. You know what? Hold on, I believe. And then also, after this, Christy Nolm gives her thoughts, which let me skip to.
An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The officers attempted to disarm this individual, but the armed suspect reacted violently. This looks like a situation where an individual arrived at this scene to inflict maximum damage on individuals and to kill law enforcement.
And here's the thing that sickens me is when Christy Nome comes out and says that this man was a domestic terrorist and he wanted to kill people. Now, I'm going to tell you what I believe I saw in that video. I believe that you can see him put one of his hands up, have one of his hands up, or let me free. One of his hands has his phone and he's holding it recording. He then puts his body in front of the woman who was pushed down and then puts his hands up after he begins to be pepper sprayed. And then even as he's being pepper sprayed and is holding his phone recording, he has one hand up, one hand recording. He's still in a moment where, a crazy person might try to reach for a gun or try to attack an ICE agent. He doesn't. He doesn't reach for a gun, and he doesn't even try to jump on the ICE agent, doesn't try to punch the ICE agent, doesn't show any sign from our view that he was threatening the ICE agent or was trying to endanger the ICE agent. Now, if it comes out that he said, I'm going to pull my gun out on you to the ICE agent, then you know what? Maybe the ICE agent has a good reason. But to our knowledge, he didn't say that. And in the video, he doesn't look threatening at all. Alex then trips over the woman and then tries to help the woman who fell over back up. He then is pulled to the ground by more ICE agents after getting back up. He still, even in that moment, from our point of view in this video, doesn't try to fight back. 5 ICE agents, I counted, then surround him, and then he was shot multiple times. Now, I do want to say this. Did Alex have a gun? Yes. Is it legal to carry a gun in Minnesota? Yes. Did he ever show the gun or reach for it to the ICE agent? No. Did the ICE agents ever know he had a gun until he was on the ground and they disarmed him? I don't believe so, but again, that's only from this video. Who knows what he said or what they knew beforehand, but based off this video, it seems like they didn't. And in the video, Alex is also shown to never have seemingly have never threatened an ICE agent. And what I believe ICE did is wrong. And if anything, evil. And what I'm confused at is how the party of small government allows these masked ICE agents to go around and kill people like this. And not even just they allowed this to happen, it's that they're actively defending it too. And that's truly probably the worst thing, is that the government is saying he's in the right. Now, I want to show the video after saying what I said one more time to make sure I truly did not mess this up. So we see here the woman's pushed over, okay? This guy is the guy that shot in the brown. He maybe has his hands on the ICE agent right here, but I'm not sure. And we see the ICE agent push him a little bit. The ICE agent then begins to spray pepper spray on him, I believe. And he puts his hand up, and then in this other hand, he has a phone, and he is probably recording. He has his head turned, hand up. The ICE agent continues to spray pepper spray on him. As you see here, he trips over a little bit. And he falls on top of this woman who was pushed earlier. Another ICE agent comes on top of him. Now, right here, he seems to be getting back up. There's now another ICE agent, so there's now 3 ICE agents surrounding him. I believe this is the 4th ICE agent around him, and here's the 5th. If I counted right, yes. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I don't know if this guy is an ICE agent. Doesn't look like it. He doesn't have a vest. As we see, he's on the ground. We now have, what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that 7 ICE agents around him? He's clearly on the ground. I mean, you got 7 guys on top of him. Then they start hitting him, it seems like. And then maybe you want to say if he was trying to get back up, he was fighting back. But I still don't see the need for force. And then looks like, I don't know, I can't tell what this is. I don't know what this is. Maybe this was from his pockets and they pulled it out. I can't tell what that is. Who knows? What is. Now we have even more ICE agents on top of him, and then he's shot. And now, who knows what he said in that huddle around ICE agents? But you can clearly see here, he doesn't seem to. I mean, he's turned away from the ICE agent, and what it seems like is he's trying to help this woman get up. You see, ICE agent pushes, then Alex comes over and seems to use his body as a shield of some sort. Puts his hand up, getting pepper sprayed. Woman's trying to get back up. He tries to help. He falls over the woman. And then you got 7 ICE agents surrounding you. He's continuing to be pepper sprayed. He's hit. He's continued to be punched. I mean, he seems neutralized to me. I don't see how he could be a threat in this scenario, but again, who knows? And then he's shot multiple times. I mean, I don't know how a party of small government around allows this again. And this isn't the only thing ICE has done that's truly terrible. I mean, as you also all, I'm sure as most of you have heard, uh, how ICE took in a preschooler, 5-year-old, and and his father while they were seeking asylum. And that's another thing I want to talk about is how ICE is going after people who have court dates for to see if they're allowed to stay in the country. ICE is going after people who are seeking asylum, which is legal to in the US. You're allowed to be here while you seek asylum, and the courts rule if you can stay or not. And we're seeing ICE agents go after the weakest, most vulnerable people. I mean, recently ICE agents took this toddler, this 2-year-old, out of Minnesota with her father, even after a court order uh, said to not take the 2-year-old out of state lines, and then ICE took the toddler to Texas. And this isn't the only thing we've seen either. ICE, as I'm sure most of you have seen, um, had a leaked memo where agents were encouraged to enter homes without a warrant. That's illegal. You can't enter homes without a warrant. You can't enter places without a warrant unless if like someone's actively saying I'm gonna. I don't know. You can't do that. I mean, it's crazy to me that this is allowed to happen in our country. I mean, and what's even crazier is this is stuff that the founding fathers talked about in the Declaration of Independence. Um, Here's a quote from the Declaration of Independence I want to read. And you remember, the founding fathers were talking about King George in this section. He has kept among us in times of peace standing armies without the consent of our legislators. And you can't tell me that isn't what's happening. That's not happening in Minnesota. Tim Walz has came out and asked Trump to for ICE to leave. Uh, the mayor of Minneapolis has came out and asked ICE to leave. I mean, even and this isn't the first state either. J.B. Pritzker, a governor of Illinois, asked ICE to leave. Wes Moore said he didn't want ICE coming into Baltimore. Gavin Newsom asked ICE to leave. Gavin Newsom even signed a law saying ICE agents in the state of California can't wear masks, but they still do. And then here's another quote I want to read about here's another quote from the Declaration of Independence. He is affected to render the military independent of and superior to the civil power. And what I want to take from that quote is what I said about J.D. Vance earlier, how J.D. Vance said ICE agents have absolute immunity Christy Nome defending ICE agents even whenever they do horrendous actions. And it's like our founding fathers literally said like this is wrong. You know, ICE agents aren't above the law. I say the here's the thing, even if you believe he's innocent, then that should hold up in a trial. I mean, ICE agent, whenever you do something as severe as take a person's life, you better have a good enough reason that you can win a trial to do that. I mean, I don't think that's an unpopular opinion. And I don't know. And it's not even like we need ICE to be this extreme. ICE wasn't a thing until 2002. The US has survived 225 years basically without ICE. And before that, Bill Clinton, I mean, the president before ICE was became a thing, Bill Clinton, how many he deported millions. How many people did Bill Clinton deport from the US? Let me see here. Approximately 12.3 million total deportations happened under Bill Clinton, and that was without ICE. Now, of course, we still had immigrations, customs, and, you know, there was still immigration enforcement, but without all of this violence. I mean, here's the thing, Obama deported more people than Trump, and there wasn't this crazy violence. Now, did Obama sometimes go too far? Absolutely. But there weren't ICE agents in US cities that shot at US citizens. I mean, I don't it's crazy to me that this isn't seen as too far, or not even too far, as just like anti small government, especially for the Republican Party. And it's like you would think, like you know, your Paul Ryans in the Senate and your libertarians in the Senate and your John Stossels and public media would be speaking out against this more. Well, John Stossel does speak about it a little bit, so I'll give credit to him. I don't know. I just want to hear your thoughts, y'all's thoughts about this. I wanted to give my thoughts about what I thought about it and how I believe it's gone way too far. And ICE, as an agency, has a culture of violence now, and how Trump is using ICE to be above the law, which I do believe Trump believes he's above the law too. I don't know. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and peace out.